and we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. I am so excited. I can't wait. Hey there. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Today, we are finally finishing the first game in the series. This case has been a long one. Like, very, very long, very complicated, a lot of different aspects to it, and now we're finally closing in on the end of the case and who the true culprit is behind all of this. During our final investigation, it became very, very clear that Gant is the one who did all of this. He's the one who really murdered Detective Goodman. So, this is our final showdown with him in court today, and I could not be more hyped for what is about to go down. I cannot wait to see how everything unfolds. I don't even feel like giving a more in-depth review of the case, because they're likely going to do it anyways when we start. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm super excited. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth. Knowing you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Yep. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Yeah, he trusts us now. He knows that we're gonna fight for the truth and, like, actual justice. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. Bro, we did for your case, and it literally exonerated you. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? I'm sure we convinced him. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. I'm so excited! Oh my god, I'm so excited. February 25th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy. Been back to the pool yet? Does he do anything besides swim and probably murder people? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Yeah, I remember at the end of the last video, she doesn't want us to pursue it any longer. My theory why is because that piece of cloth that Gant had in his safe that has Emma's handprint, it has to incriminate her in some way. Maybe it doesn't actually incriminate her, and maybe we'll be able to prove that, but I think that's why Lana doesn't want us to go after Gant. Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. So what, she's gonna confess again? What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana.
Objection!
You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Objection!
Edgeworth? One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. Alright, Edgeworth! With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Oh my god, I can't. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Ms. Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Ms. Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. The mask is slipping, bro. Ms. Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Yeah, thank God he did. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, It most certainly is. Well, okay then. Now, if Phoenix had said that, he'd be like, okay, show me proof. He sure gave in fast. Hell yeah, he did. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Oh my god, I cannot wait. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Alright, already that's a contradiction that we're gonna have to point out. There's so much evidence for this case. We got Neil's autopsy report, and he was stabbed in the back. Yeah, literally, first sentence. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. He's like, yeah, let Phoenix do the work. You've got to admire his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Well, pretty easy contradiction to spot. Let's go ahead and present this.
Objection!
The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. Ugh, I must be on the wrong track? Did I not present the autopsy report? Let's press on it, I guess. That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Okay, I'm just gonna... Just for my own sanity's sake, and I'll reload if I really got this wrong, but I'm presenting this. I'm on the autopsy report. Present. That's kind of annoying. Like, I'm not crazy. That is literally a contradiction right there. We don't really need her to press on it, but maybe we just have to press on everything. I don't know. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. Are we going to see the picture? I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Skye and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in? I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark, and then, just then, the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Yeah, hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. She did. Can we see that? Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? No, ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
Objection!
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. That makes me feel like I'm supposed to present something here, but it's like... It really bothers me that she's saying Mr. Marshall was stabbed in the chest, and I have it sitting here in the court record that he was stabbed in the back. But whatever. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. We never actually... I was gonna see if we could try to, like, read the evidence list. This is... I can't believe I never fucking thought to look at the back of this shit. A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this. Alright. Well, let's present it on this. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? We don't have to act like he's the enemy. Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, yeah, this is on the half of the evidence list that Gant was hiding, so he didn't want us to find this picture. I thought he was just hiding the evidence, so... This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident? Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it? Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?! Order, order! But Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor, are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I kind of just assumed, because it's the size of a normal piece of paper. So I thought, like, it was already torn in half, and then Detective Goodman handed her that. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. The blue badger. That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Half of this list was found in Gant's desk. Very well. Witness. No, give me a second. I mean, Emma would have said if she drew on that, right? Like if she drew the blue badger's head. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Maybe she doesn't remember drawing it and she did actually draw it. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Specifically just talking about this. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I'd better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Let's save it. What would the contradiction be? I mean, it's him getting stabbed from the front, so I'm once again going to try presenting the autopsy report. Seems to have worked. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the autopsy report says that the tip was found in his chest. This looks like he's getting stabbed with a ruler, honestly. That might be the contradiction, because I don't see how I would point out, other than pointing at, like, the victim's chest, that he was stabbed in the chest. I'm gonna try the knife first. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too, yes, but Gumshoe told us the tip was found inside of Neil Marshall. So it doesn't make sense for you to have seen him getting stabbed with a broken knife if the tip broke off inside of him. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. Yeah, and it's clearly fabricated. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Ellen. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. If the tip was found in his chest, sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. But what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure that she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. It's fake. Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. No, you really can't. It has to be that it was fake. Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Lana basically admitted as much the other day. Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him, and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. The one that should have been on the King of Prosecutors trophy. The one that he's holding right here that has a knife on it. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? There is another one. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. Let me save it, but yeah, it has to be from the King of Prosecutors trophy. That's the only other knife in here besides, obviously, Edgeworth's knife, right? And that's intact, and wouldn't make any sense. So, yeah, it really just has to be this. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Should I show the picture? The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the awards ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. And just as a quick aside, who decided that it should be removed from the trophy? That would be Damon Gant. Oh, I didn't mean to go into it. Kind of ruins my cool moment, but... As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order, order, order! Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors' award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, Jake did say that there's no way his brother was going to get beaten in a fight. I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Yeah. I mean, I would have just assumed that Joe Dark, like, managed to disarm him. Oh. Oh! What does this mean? They're acting like it's fact, so that must be the case. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness? Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. Okay, let me look at this real quick before. Like, did she see something that looked like that above them? Like in the window or something? I don't... Let me just let it go, I guess. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. I thought we were done with the blue badger. How is it gonna factor into this still? When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Stop! Please! Don't pursue this any further! Oh my god. We've literally never seen this sprite from her. She is desperate. Lana! What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Oh my god, dude. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Making sure we're still recording. Yeah, let's press this. What do you mean you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. Miss Sky was almost killed before she was the witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. Elaborate. Are you sure about this? Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. So, like, did he see evidence from this, and he was like, oh, if you turn it sideways, it makes a cute mascot. Like, I don't... The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when you thought that this thing had caused enough commotion. Yeah, I thought it was done. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really? Oh my god. It's the fucking vase. It has 3 points if you look at it like this. That's the only thing that's like vaguely blue badger-like in the evidence locker. And the vase also hasn't come into play yet. I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma saw this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright. In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that moment? Please show us this mysterious Blue Badger lookalike. Why'd he say in this room? That has me suspicious, but I still think it's the unstable jar. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? Also, I did notice this in editing, and I forgot to mention it. The writing, if you look at it, that line, this feels like Emma. Like the E starts like there, you draw the line down, there, E, M, and then the A over here. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger. Yeah, but if you were to turn the lights out and all you saw was its shadow, you could mistake it for that. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. I think I can just do it like that. I'm trying not to rotate it. This isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the Badger. Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim. I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more, or horizontally? Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it. I've got to show them the correct angle. Okay. I have to look it up. I have to look it up. I can't do it. What do you fucking mean I'm following a video now? Like, I've literally looked up an 18-second video that showed me how to present this. Fucking finally, oh my god! Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. Apparently you can, over and over and over again, but... No. It can't be! Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection!
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that Badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection!
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed? Very well then. Please tell us, what's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? I mean, I guess this wasn't really by a window? I don't know. Let me try to think through this logically. I'm still a little annoyed from that, trying to present the jar. Would the location change? Not really. Maybe in the office specifically, but it would still have to take place in Chief Gant's office. The murder weapon we already know is not what we thought it was. Would it change the murderer? How would it change the murderer? I don't see how it would. So if it's not the location, I'm probably just gonna pick the murderer. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Objection!
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. Okay. The witness testified so herself.
Objection!
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Mr. Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Objection!
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked into the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Oh my god. So Emma knocked Neil into the sword, which is why he was stabbed in the back. That's what killed him. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright? What's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. So this is why there was a cover-up? For Emma's sake? Oh my god. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Oh god. Did she just faint? I don't even really blame her. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Oh god. What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances... Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? No, she knows it's true, dude. And that's what Gant has over her. That's why she agreed to get rid of his body. Oh my god. This is crazy. How is this going to be resolved? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago, yeah? The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have to find proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? I think we do. That's what the cloth has to be. It has to be from his vest. It's the same color. Is it? Kind of looks more... no, it's the same color as his vest. Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. It's the writing on the jar. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Oh my god, this is crazy. Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Take that!
This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. I was confused. I was like, I know I picked the jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. That was you. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is that these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. and the victim's message will become apparent. No. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I gotta connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Wow, we're really doing this. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Oh my god, this is so insane. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Holy shit. Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. No, motherfucker. We have fucking sat here and proved that he was not given all the evidence. He was purposely left out of shit and handed false evidence. That's not his fault. That's not because of him. It's because of you! Oh, God, bro. The shit was in your desk. The evidence that we just found about the jar was in your desk. I need this man to go. I know what's happening today, but he needs to go. He needs to be stopped. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death? How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Because it fucking wasn't! Order, 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 order! Here we go again. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Oh my god. Oh, Gant has my blood fucking boiling, dude. I cannot wait to take him down. Alright. We have made it through the first part of this fucking trial. We proved Emma's a murderer. There's gotta be more to it than that, right? Like, for a second I was like, maybe they're gonna try and say that Gant was the real murderer back then, and not Joe Dark. But Emma? I kind of saw it coming because of the cloth with her hand on it, but like, we're really committing to it. We really, like, she really did it. I don't know, it's crazy. There's gotta be more to this, though. I mean, Gant might not have been the one who killed Neil Marshall, but he absolutely has to be the one that killed Detective Goodman. So at least Lana's gonna be found innocent, but what's gonna happen to Emma? I know she was a kid, she still is a kid, and it was an accident and she was trying to defend Neil Marshall. But this is insane. Insane. Alright. I'm gonna take a small break, and then we are going to continue to the end. Alright, let's finish this. I can't wait to fucking destroy Gant. February 25th, 12:06. I'm assuming PM. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Oh, Gumshoe. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Dude, you can't say the same lines, please. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. She said, go to fucking law school, Phoenix. Go to law school. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? And he's just like, I don't know, Edgeworth seems pretty sure. It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. No, seriously. The chief prosecutor... Oh. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. Yep, let's read it now. Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. I am so excited, I can't wait. February 25th, 12:52, District Court, Courtroom Number 9. The final showdown with Damon Gant. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well... Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... We know who I'm gonna call, but they have me nervous. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. They even start you right on it. Let's do it.
Take that!
Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Oh, let's do this! Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch! Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, huh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Yeah, why was it found in your desk? Why was the other half of the evidence list found in your desk? Why did you have a safe with evidence from SL9 hidden? Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seemed Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Okay, so don't press. Well, if that's the case, and we need to just get right on with the contradiction, one thing that did stand out to me is I had nothing to do with the forgery, which isn't the case. You hid evidence, brother. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Skye drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? Is he seriously gonna sit here and try to claim that we planted that shit in his office? Get Detective Gumshoe up here. Have him testify. I'm so pissed.
Objection!
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Thank you. Thank you. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law, and not even the chief of f***ing police. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. He was already fired. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office. Let's go, Judge. And their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Ooh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Udgy. In return, though, I know, that place, right? Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? What the fuck are they talking about? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. It's crazy, dude. Can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Can I prove when they were found? Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Righto. Think about it. There's no reason... Okay, I guess we can press then. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Phoenix, we can't really talk. We make ridiculous allegations all the time that turn out to be true. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Righto's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence are discovered. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
Objection!
If concealing evidence was found... Oh, he's saying if they were put into his safe after the fact, then it wouldn't be considered forgery, so I would have to prove that they were in the safe before he was proven guilty, which I don't think is possible. I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. They were found after Dark was convicted and they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Really, Chief Gant. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What's this benefit? You were promoted to Chief of Police. That would of course be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. He's right. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. Yeah, I believe it. There, it's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. How does that help me? Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? I mean, I feel like the answer has to be yes, right? Point out accomplice. Would he have helped someone out? Like, he's claiming he doesn't care about Lana, which he probably doesn't if he's, like, blackmailed her into doing shit like this for however long. 2 years. Like, if I look at the court record, I'm assuming I'm gonna have to point out somebody. The victim and a good man. Detective in criminal affairs. I don't think... Would it make sense for him to help Bruce Goodman? Probably not. The only one I feel like it would make sense for him to maybe help is Lana Skye. Well, we saved it, so let's try pointing out an accomplice. Because I feel like if I say no, it's just gonna be the same thing. My gut is telling me no, though. But I feel like my gut is wrong. Let's point out an accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Okay, it's definitely Lana then. When you phrase it like that, it actually makes a lot of sense. He wanted to help her out so that he could have this blackmail and control the prosecutor's office when she got moved over there. Mr. Wright, it appears you are positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well, then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence, Lana Skye?
Take that!
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye? The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? Like I said, he'd be able to control the prosecutor's office. After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the dumbest character in Ace Attorney. He's so stupid. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? She told us, but we don't have proof of it. She told us that she got a call from you, telling her to hide the body. For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana... she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about... the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? It's true. It's so true. Order. I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. Afraid not. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier-to-understand language, dude. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright, that the Chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. All right then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it had better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. It's gotta be the screwdriver. It's gotta be the screwdriver, right? That's the only thing I can think of. It's probably circumstantial or whatever, but like, he asked Edgeworth to take this screwdriver back to the High Prosecutor's office so that Edgeworth unknowingly transferred Goodman's body from the police department to the prosecutor's office parking lot for Lana to dispose of. That's what happened. This feels like the only thing. I'm gonna present it. Well, Chief? So long as Righto here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance, mind if I toss something too, Udgy? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops, looks like I got it wrong. Don't oops me. Maybe this boot to the head will knock some sense into you. I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial, but try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Now that he mentions it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation. Did we? The jar? The jar! The jar was there! Oh my god. Something that proves Gant entered that room. No, duh! His number. Looks like he wants another one of your boots, Udgy. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. Okay, yeah. Okay, got it. ID card record. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777-777-7. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. Brother, show us your fucking card. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was all 7s. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime! Look at him! Order. Order. Hold on, I gotta turn this up. Okay, there we go. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
Objection!
Brother. You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
Objection!
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. I've been trying to think this whole time. The lost item report, because it can only be submitted to the Chief of Police, and it's dated 2/21. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to have given that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. I just got the joke. Because in the profiles it says he was a good man. And a good man, Bruce Goodman. Exactly. But wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Why would he do that? Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Oh my god! Brother went Super Saiyan, what the f- Chief Gant, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. I want to know how he got the body out of the evidence room and into Edgeworth's car.
Objection!
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. Yeah. How did he manage to move it there? Well, I jumped the gun a little bit, so I already know how that happened. I was at the police department the entire day, you know, and everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, You're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. I'm so confident I don't even need to save.
Take that!
This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. Yeah, Edgeworth unknowingly drove Detective Goodman's body. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief? Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye. Order! 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 What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Ms. Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. That kind of doesn't really make sense. Because Ms. Starr saw her stabbing. Okay, well, maybe it was before she... Okay, no, it makes sense. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe... Your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
Objection!
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Brother, you can't just leave in the middle of us accusing you of murder and just, yeah, actually, I gotta go. Like, it's basically like pleading the fifth. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Objection!
So, you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. Do I have any concrete proof? Concrete as in something that, like... Didn't she say she got a call from him? She said she got a call from Chief Gant, so I feel like her cell phone would be the proof. If anything. Nothing else is conclusive. Nothing would have his prints on it. I think maybe it would be the cell phone. But other than that, I feel like we don't have concrete proof. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor, I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is what Goodman was actually stabbed with, right? So it could be this. Like, I know he wears gloves, but does he wear gloves? I think he does. I'm not 100% sure about the cell phone, but I think if it's not the cell phone, it's the switchblade knife. Let's try the cell phone. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof. As to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt, I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge, yeah, I f***ed up. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? What I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm going to be late for lunch. I guess it wasn't enough. Okay, yeah. Alright, we'll try the knife, and if it's not the knife, then I feel like we don't have evidence. Okay. Do we really not have the evidence to prove it? We wouldn't be able to use, like, the bloody handprint. I'm scared, but I'm gonna say that we don't have evidence yet. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Udgy? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Udgy, I'll leave the rest to you. Okay, he actually left. Yeah, we f***ed up. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth? What do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth? Another witness? In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. It's Lana. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Lana Skye. The defendant? Ms. Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on. Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. So you're saying, if... Like, does everybody in the court hear this? She should already technically be found guilty because she killed him, but like... And everybody knows that, so like, what are you saying, bro? Like, I just... This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then, I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Another recess. February 25th, 2:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief. He's something else, huh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. Hahaha. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Nah, don't worry about it. I've already decided where to work now. At your office! See, I'm like, come on, Gumshoe, let's go. And Phoenix is probably like, f that. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Could he mean Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks. What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposition also holds true. The opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? It's Emma. Emma! Are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery, so she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man, and she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal! Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act! Emma, why don't you wait? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there, when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, man. I'm gonna keep everything together, but I do think I'm gonna stop recording for now. I don't know how much longer this is gonna go, but this will all just end up being part of the same video, so. Alright. Let's get back into it. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Ms. Lana Skye, please take the stand? Ms. Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Ms. Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Oh, God. Gant and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Drake convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Oh, dark. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana... If this is true, then that means Chief Gant had nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. Nothing is, like, screaming out to me as a contradiction. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. I mean, if we try to present the evidence list because it was found in his desk, or this, couldn't she just claim that we planted it there like Gant was saying? I feel like it's safer to press first. Yeah, I guess... I always want to start pressing, like, in the middle, but I guess it's just better to press from beginning to end, because sometimes that's just what they want you to do. How many years, exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Skye were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. But think about it, Miss Skye. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. She doesn't have to admit to that. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. Yeah, she's right. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence. I guess this is what I wanted to press on initially. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. I don't have proof otherwise, so let's press. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So, when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. My only motivation was to get... I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you plant the knife? Why did you move the body? Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Skye moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Okay. The pieces of the jar shattered during the events threatened my plan. What would the contradiction be? Let's just press on the last one. So you rearranged the crime scene? Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, wait. So obviously the contradiction would have to be here. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm at like I'm at a complete loss. I don't know. Let me read this again. Okay, I mean, so if the jar was shattered during the crime, how could he have written the blood on it? Like, how could he have written Emma on it in blood? Maybe that's it.
Objection!
Okay. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? What the f***? Oh my god, this man is so stupid. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. I don't know. I mean, yes, obviously that's true, but like, so what? I mean, I guess it just proves that she's lying about something. Order, order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Edgeworth's so cool, man. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. It's so cool that, like, we're working together on this. Like, this has been my favorite case so far in that regard. Like, he's on the opposite side, but, like, we get to work together to try and solve the mystery. I think it's been a lot of fun. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I couldn't check it out. To be safe, I went through the blood. Fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Hold on, sometimes there's a hint here. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Alright, what am I not seeing? I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Okay, we can't even look at the actual evidence list, so that doesn't matter. fragments or large? I think I should just press, honestly, because I can't tell what the contradiction is, so maybe this means I have to present something, so I'm just gonna press whatever. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. But clearly she didn't, because, I mean, there was one found in Gant's safe, right? There's no way I'm supposed to present the jar again. I don't know. Let me just try it. It's what's come to mind.
Objection!
Ms. Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified. So was Gant at the scene first and he took that piece before she got there to find it and clean the blood off? But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Did Gant? Why was Gant there? He said, I mean, obviously he's a fucking liar, but like he said that he got there last. Or like, yeah, no, last. But was he there already? Are they setting him up to be like the actual dude that murdered Neil? That would be insane. I thought he was just gonna be the one that murdered Bruce Goodman, but maybe he fucking did both. Oh my god. Okay. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. That's so crazy, man. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
Objection!
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that? I can't even blame him, because low-key, that sounds like something I would do if I had dentures. Sometimes I'll like be looking for my phone and I'm like, it's in my pocket. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Doc downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Yeah. No. I don't think we've ever seen the judge get, like, upset like that. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? There's no way that Gant is just going to, like, sit by and go have lunch or whatever and let us do this to him in court. Like, there's absolutely no way. But it's what he asked for when he decided to not testify, so, like, you honestly. What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Ms. Sky became the chief's puppet. Oh god, no, don't bite your finger off! No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. I'm sorry, you can't say that when you're like trying to admit to fabricating evidence, but whatever. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth. I'm actually offended. Wait a minute. Have we had an epiphany? What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe right after all. What do you mean, Wright? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? No, I think he means that Gant made it look like Emma did it so that he could manipulate her. Maybe he didn't kill... But then there's this, right? I'm pretty sure this is like a piece of his vest or something. But like, they haven't mentioned anything missing. But it's closer in color to that than it is to like Gant's jacket. I don't know why it's so hard for me to tell. But like, judging from this small image and that, yeah, it kind of seems like that, but I don't know. But he could have also just taken these pieces and hidden it to make it look like Emma did it, you know? Maybe he was the one who wrote the message on there. I don't know. This is crazy. If it actually turns out that Emma didn't kill Neil, that would just be insane. Like, it would actually be insane. I accepted it. Emma seems to have accepted it too. Like, she's like, yeah, I killed him. Ms. Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Ms. Sky, if you will. I can't. But if we could try to prove Emma's innocence, then Gant won't have anything over your head, and then we can just fucking get him arrested. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Oh, God. And she's actually gonna be completely honest. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. What if Gant got there and literally moved Neil's body onto the suit of armor? Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Yeah, here's the thing, like, Gant is a big dude. I know he's like 65, but the dude is built like a fucking brick house. I think he could, and Neil doesn't look like he'd be that heavy. He probably could lift him and put him on the sword himself. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. the evidence law? Or no, that was before the last investigation that she gave me the SL9 incident files. Like during the last set of trials. So she must be talking about evidence law? What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. You're talking about evidence law. Okay, now they're letting me look at it. Can I open? Well, hey, there's a picture here. Yeah, there's a piece of his vest cut out. So did Gant do that specifically so that he could hold this over her head? Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. Oh yeah, she told us. No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Let's look at it again. Yeah, there's a piece of his vest missing right there. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest. Could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe? What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints. They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? So now she suddenly can't read his mind? Whatever. Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Oh my god. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body. Oh, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. He was not just gonna sit there and let us do this. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Objection! You gave up your right to testify. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. You can play it yourself, dude. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, fuck off, Gant. Fuck you. So what? You think I'm worried? Yes. I think you are worried by you turning into Zeus there for a second. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all of the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. Oh, shit. Oh, no. What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Show evidence cannot show evidence. He called us out, dude. Like, I can't hide it anymore. I have to show the evidence. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the Chief's. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
Take that!
It's a piece of leather cloth? Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Wright has checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Sky's. Miss Emma Sky's. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See? I told you it was conclusive.
Objection!
But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? So what, Phoenix just fucking pulled it out of his ass? What are you talking about, dude?
Objection!
But... Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death. No. It appears we have our killer. No! Did I fucked up. No! Oh, shit. Everything hinged on that point. In the end, Lana alone was found guilty on all counts. Oh, damn. We had a good run. It probably should have happened sooner, because I did load before I died a couple of times in, I think, maybe the last trial, but good thing I saved right before. He called me on it. I thought I had to present it. Okay. Cannot show evidence. The wording did have me a little conflicted there. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. Oh, okay. So now you now you have to admit it. Okay. The conclusive evidence. He just admitted it was in his safe. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police... Okay, now I get it, because we just got him to admit that he forged evidence. Have been concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you'll admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana had arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. Why not? But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Thank you. Like, what if he just wrote that? Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance, the cloth. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. Now I feel like we could present it since we got him to admit it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. He's got a point. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late. No, I got a game over, so... It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. But Edgeworth said showing it directly ties Emma. So I don't know if I should do it again. But I'm gonna do it again. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. No, it's the same thing. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged, it must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Okay. Emma? Emma Skye? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh ho ho ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Skye, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Skye, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. I'm sorry, your fucking career is over, bro. You just admitted to forging evidence in court. Anyways, bye, Mr. Chief of Police. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I still brought it up later in the trial, like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. Okay. I'll have your badge, boy. Phoenix is not scared. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? I can't wait to shut this man up! How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Wow, I wish I knew what he was talking about. Oh my god, I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to just start presenting things, because I feel like it's gonna be so obvious. Like, I don't think the glove has anything to do with it, right? Is there anything else that, like, looks... I'm gonna present the picture. Oh ho 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 ho! It's fun watching you squirm, righto? Yeah. Whatever. I hate this guy. This piece of evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. Your outward appearance of mental sanity. That's rude. What am I doing? If this cloth was cut from Prosecutor Marshall's vest after he died, then something's definitely not right about it. Oh my god. There's no blood on it. There's not a drop of blood on it. It's too late to turn back now. You're the only one who can put an end to this, right? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. It's gotta be that. How is there no blood on the vest?
Take that!
And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth... Wait, there's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ms. Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Why? Why did he... Really? Was it really just to get control of the prosecutor's office? This dude is insane! Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Oh my god. Oh my god. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Though through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! Good. F you, Gant. Oh my god. It's finally all over. Fantastic. Oh. Oh, that was close, Righto. You almost had me. Yeah, but you don't look that confident, my guy. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Well, it definitely passes Rule 2. Order! Order! What nonsense is this? Like, at this point, the damage is done, bro. Like, everybody knows that you killed him, so what does it matter if it's illegal evidence? It's been proven already. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Like, yeah, but, like... Maybe at this point he just doesn't want to fucking go to jail. This guy, man. Remember, Aji? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ho 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 ho! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. Okay. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, Do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I did not. I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal.
Objection!
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? Because the plan was to get him to admit. There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. Did he technically give his approval when he told us to present it? No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe... There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. I think the only way would be evidence law, right? This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book, the second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes! Yeah, you yourself again. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this cloth from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer was you. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words, and he killed him. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint. Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car? I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside. How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. I don't believe he really felt bad. He killed a man just to have something over Lana. Like, he's crazy. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me. We're the same, okay? One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. You were a great villain, Gant, but good fucking riddance. I'm so tired of you, man. I'm so tired. He was such an asshole. It took so long to get to this point. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Damn. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. Yeah, but we got her out of the most important one. She didn't kill Bruce Goodman. She's not a murderer, at the very least. My, what high standards you have. For a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Oh. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Yes, seriously. Edgeworth, honestly, like, he really deserves a break after all this. It's been a crazy few fucking months for him. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you, and yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. It's actually so nice seeing her smile. Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us, especially you, Judge. Maybe read a book or something, I don't know. Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Damn. The fade to white was also really cool. They always fade to black. But it's... despite the fact that she's still guilty, it's a happy ending for her. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. That is... Judge, you have never been more correct about anything. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Ms. Lana Sky, not guilty. It's been so long. That is all. This court is adjourned. 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Alright, you've still been recording. I'm going to save it as soon as possible, just in case. Okay. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. She just said Mia. I'm nitpicking, but like, why did they do that? I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. I mean, we just saw this, but... You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me. Yeah. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals! Gumshoe, you gotta stop doing this. Hey, can he get his job back now? Oh. Guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Oh. Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't, so... Did he get his job back? I'm confused. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. Sorry, that's just crazy to me. You've never felt panic before? Okay. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day, in hiding what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma! No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. Damn, Phoenix, that was deep. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. He just always looks so grumpy when he shows up. Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, But think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Phoenix is your weapon. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. The true halves of the evidence list. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other half. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who'll be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. I didn't ask for this. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Objection!
Okay. Oh. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Yeah, still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Trying to gather my thoughts. Figure out how I feel. Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. I love Gumshoe. I've said it a million times, but I think he's my favorite still. This case, it was so good, but man, it was too long. I think that's the only negative thing that I really have to say about it. Some of the cross-examinations. Oh, I also love Meekins. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. Good. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm gonna make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. I think he would be so much worse than Gumshoe. Oh, man. Like, I really love how... how distinct the characters are. Like, using things like... Okay, wait. I gotta... get this thing off my screen. Like, the way that... I mentioned it a bit with Gant, like how they used music to, like, try and make you feel like he's... Oh, thank God. And try to make it feel like he's a good guy, like they... and non-threatening and stuff like that. And just, like, the different sprites and everything that they use are so expressive. And the dialogue is hilarious, like... Oh, he's at the detention center. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Starr managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Oh, his cactuses? Cacti? Sure. It's just so fun. It's such a fun thing to, like, even though it's basically just reading, right? Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. I really should just wait until the end to give my thoughts, but, like, I don't know. I don't just want to sit here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, the characters are a lot of fun. The writing is a lot of fun. This man is so stupid. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for, how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. Okay. Oh, the judge. But, like, even the judge, he's a fun character, even if he's so stupid. I just had so much fun going through this. It was basically like a new playthrough because I didn't remember any of the twists. Oh my god, it's Maya. Ah! Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. I did miss Maya. I know Emma was supposed to be like her stand-in, and she was funny, but I do miss Maya. It was just a lot of fun. I had so much fun reading through it. I hope you guys had a fun time watching through it. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. What's going on? His letter of resignation, I assume. It's kind of sad that he ended up giving up being a prosecutor, but I get why. If that is actually what happened. Phoenix said he'd wait for him in court, but who knows. Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, All I have to do is open this book. Oh. No. Alright, it's cute, I get it. Well, we did it. Oh man, I mean, I was saying it here and there, trying to talk when the credits weren't showing anything, but I had a lot of fun with this. I have remembered why I enjoyed the game so much, because like I've said before in other videos, I played this back during COVID originally, and like a lot of things I did during that time, I kind of have just repressed it. So I knew that I liked Phoenix Wright for some reason, and now I remember why. The writing is hilarious. The characters are so funny. They're so endearing. It's great how they're able to do that through just the use of character sprites. They don't have to rely on animation to get that across, and to make you feel how ridiculous these characters are. It's a lot of fun. It really was just a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun doing the voices. My only complaint really was that last case just went on a bit too long. That's the only time I felt like that, really. All the other cases felt like pretty like sufficient, you know. This one I felt like it just went on for too long. There were a lot of like pieces involved in it, you know. We had our evidence list was like almost 3 pages long, but I still had a good time. It was still a really fun mystery to try and figure out and solve, and Gant was honestly an incredible villain, like probably the best one in the game. It's tough because like Von Karma was like, he was really good at getting you riled up, and Gant was too, but it was in a different way. Like Gant tried to present as like this nice guy, but he'd say really like he'd say it to like get under your skin, all with like this big ass grin on his face. He was a lot of fun. I don't know if I liked him more than Von Karma. That's a tough one. Von Karma was really funny sometimes. We did it. We made it through the first Ace Attorney. So the plan is I am going to play Justice for All, because I probably remembered the most about the original Phoenix Wright. I don't remember much, if anything, from Justice for All. I think I remember maybe like who the prosecutor is. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to be starting the next Ace Attorney game right away. I did have a poll on my channel on what game I should play after, because I'm going back to like the Persona, Shin Megami Tensei series, and so the next game that I'm going to be playing is actually Persona 1. Shin Megami Tensei Persona. I looked into it a little bit just to see, because I guess there's like different versions. I'm going to be playing the PSP version, which I think is the one that people prefer. So I don't know. I'm still super excited to get back into Ace Attorney. I do just want to let it breathe for a bit, you know, give my voice a chance to recover maybe a bit. I did have one other complaint, actually. They need to do something else in the next game other than having somebody dress up to impersonate somebody else, because that happened 3 cases in a row in this game. We had Jackhammer dressing up as the Steel Samurai. We had Yanni Yogi dressing up as, what was it, like Hammond to like fool Edgeworth, and then we had Jake Marshall dressing up as Detective Goodman in this one. We need a different gimmick. There's got to be some other kind of thing. I don't want to see that for a little bit. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next in the next Ace Attorney, and to see where the story goes from here. Catch up with Phoenix, Edgeworth, and everybody else. And I don't know, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. So make sure you stay subscribed so that you know when that happens. If you made it this far into the video, if you've been watching along, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And yeah, I'll see you for the next Ace Attorney. I don't know how long Persona's gonna take me, but there's gonna be no breaks. I'm going right back to Ace Attorney. So until then, take care, have a great day, and I'll see you around. If I had to say which case was my favorite, I think it would probably be the last one, episode 4. I think it was called Turnabout Goodbyes. Really, it comes down to the length. Like, I feel like it was just like no parts of it felt unnecessary, and it was a really good mystery to solve. I'd love to hear what other people thought. Like, what was your favorite case? I'm really excited to see what they've got in store for the cases in the next one.